Today's episode is brought to you by Dr. AC Lawrence. Guys, I've spoken about this before. If you're feeling anxious, bad day at work, working in a toxic environment, stress, please reach out. His details are on all our social media platforms. It will also be at the bottom of this podcast when you watch it. Dr. AC Lawrence, psychiatrist. He's a friend of the pod and he's willing to listen, help, book sessions with him. Yeah, just reach out. Today, we have our first lady on the Endure Edge podcast. You will recognize her voice. She's a powerful woman. Her energy came through this building when she walked in up the stairs. She's from Jacaranda FM, Danny Painter.
Hello, thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming, Danny.
As the first woman, I feel pressure.
Don't. I feel pressure. This is only episode 7, so I feel pressure. This is what you do for a living.
I make it easy. No, this is Laka. It's weird sitting on the other side. I'm going to try and not take over.
Thank you for coming. And you look amazing. Your transformation, like I saw a bit of it, obviously doing my homework on you.
Yeah.
Wow.
35 kilograms. Mostly grief, but a lot of hard work as well.
35 kilograms lost.
Yeah.
Okay, and how long?
About a year and a half.
Wow.
Yeah, so far. There's still much of the journey left.
And has that been hard? Has that been difficult, like to lose it?
No, you know what? I think it has saved me. The gym and my trainer have saved my life.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like that because we believe that on the Endure Edge. So we concentrate a lot on men's mental health.
Yeah.
And when this all started, was only going to be based on men's mental health. And then we realized, but hold on, there's a place for women. And women, there's this stigma that women have got it all together. And they can go and sit and gossip and talk about their problems with their friends.
Yeah.
But it's not that anymore. That's all changed. Women have become quiet like men have.
Yeah.
Because women have to be strong now in relationships or single moms or, being alone. Women have become quiet.
Yeah. And you know what? We were talking about this on my show the other night. We're more connected than we've ever been, but we have zero community. So often I get asked, so what do you do on the weekend? Or who are your friends? I don't have any.
Yeah.
I don't think many of us do. Those core circles that we used to have to gossip with, to shoot ideas with, they've dissipated. And now everything is in the palm of your hand, but you've never been more alone.
It's crazy, actually, how how time has changed. And we are changing with time, but we're also not changing with time.
Well, we won't change, right? Our reptilian brain still wants community.
Yes.
Still wants that kind of family structure, whatever that means. But the world has changed to not have that anymore.
Yeah. And what is community right now? To you, it's gym, it's health.
Well, yeah, even then.
But yeah, even then, you're not talking to people at the gym.
No, and well, other than my trainer.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, community, I think I'm still figuring it out. So obviously I'm a widow. Everybody knows the story. We've spoken about it at length. If you want it, I'll tell you.
No, we're gonna get into that. I promise
but
you.
I found community online. I found a very big community of what we are called young widows, because it's unusual to be widowed before 40 years old, And that was my community for a long time, but they weren't real. They weren't in real life. So I'm still kind of figuring out my community.
So you guys didn't get together in like a circle, like the Gamblers Anonymous and Faminon?
No, because we're all over the world. I was
okay. So it was like an online thing.
Yeah.
And you guys chat.
Yeah, but I have thought of joining an anonymous group, one of them, just to go and drink.
To have people.
Yeah, plastic coffee and just speak to someone.
I was actually telling a friend earlier. I was on actually JC's podcast. Called the Middleway Pod. I'm talking about my gambling addiction, and the friend I was talking to had an alcohol addiction.
Okay.
And I actually said to him, "Yeah, I believe we can go to a party." He's like, "No, I can't, but you know me, I can't go to a party." I'm like, "No, I found a coffee and pastry party. It's the latest thing. I don't know if you've seen.
Yeah,
coffee and pastry parties like."
Yeah.
That are going on everywhere with no alcohol, no drugs, and it's from 11 o'clock in the morning to 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
Standing, I'm in.
And you get to bed early.
Yeah, exactly. No, I actually recently, so my therapist said I needed to find a community now. And I went online and I found a running community that run every Sunday, but then they have coffee afterwards and they have DJs.
Yes.
And I was like,
that's probably the same thing.
I want to do that.
I think it's called After Shuffle.
Yes,
I told Santa Cruz. Yes. It's in Hyde Park or somewhere, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. I'm definitely doing that.
Okay, I'll come join you.
Okay, pinky,
Deal.
pinky.
You pinky.
Pinky promise.
Okay, from a distance.
I'm breaking the third wall here, but he said.
Back onto health quickly.
Yeah.
So, have you ever felt guilty about putting your health first since you
Yes.
started this journey?
Of course.
Because I found with myself that happened, and then with a lot of people that I speak to, they like feel guilty, like
Yeah.
because their friends don't understand it, who aren't on the same journeys.
Yeah, 100%. But also, I think I dove into it so soon after my husband's death that there was that inherent guilt of, I should not be okay enough to go to gym. You know, what are people going to think? I should still be in my bed in a grief cave.
Okay. Before we get onto that, and we're going to dive deep into that because, wow, what a journey. Tell me a little bit about Danny and growing up and the girl from Brackpan.
The girl from Brackpan, that
has done so much. You still live in Brackpan?
I still live in Brackpan. I recently put in an offer on a house that's not in Brackpan.
Yeah, hopefully it's close to where you work. Because Brackpan and Jacaranda studios are far from each other.
My whole life is this side. No, look, we'll do baby steps, one step at a time. I am Danny. I am a Brackpan girl through and through. My grandparents had a business there for 45 years. My mom's been there her whole life. We grew up there. And I like it. I like community. I like people to know my dog's names. And when I was really little,
Girl.
yeah, small town girl. But when I was really little, I watched KTV and I said, that's what I want to do. And luckily I have an incredible mom who was like, okay, cool. How do we figure it out? And she found me an agent, got me on kids TV, and that's that.
So it started on kids TV.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about that. Was it KTV or?
No.
Okay.
I did go to KTV and sat in the audience a couple of times, but I did kids theatre, a lot of kids theatre from when I was 6. And then I built up some experience, got an agent, and then I did SABC2 World of Winners for about 5 years. And DSTV channel 84, it was called Go. There was a program called Vicious Delicious that I did for also a long time.
Okay. And no theatre as an adult?
No, because now I'm heavily tattooed and bald.
They're looking for these pantomimes. Janice honeymoon? Danny's looking for a call.
Be the evil witch. Yeah, I did a lot of musical theatre when I was growing up.
Okay.
Lots and lots and lots.
All right. Singing?
Yeah, but I'm not going to do it.
I was going to. Well, end the podcast. Or we like ending the podcast with singing. Oh, Dale.
If you did enough research, you would have found the songs on Spotify. But clearly, Matt did not research enough.
Didn't do any research on Spotify. But walking out of here, get into my car, I'm playing Danny.
It's so
Guys, we need likes on Spotify. Let's make her go viral on Spotify.
Let's not. She's not a singer. No.
Okay. Then growing up, you obviously got married.
Yeah.
When did you get married?
I was very young. You're going to judge me. I was 21. He was 11 years older than me. And I ran away. I eloped.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Where did you guys go?
Yeah, to Salt Rock.
Okay.
Someone else was getting married and I borrowed their little gazebo and their dwelling.
Enjoy.
I did, I promise you. And the lady that was doing the banqueting, she signed as witness.
That is...
We had no one.
I don't know why I find that the story awesome. I'm married, but... So we kind of eloped, but we didn't elope. We didn't invite people.
No.
It was very small. We went to Mauritius, but it wasn't eloping in that sense. But I mean, we hardly even had family at our wedding.
Oh, no, we had just...
The people that mattered came.
Okay.
So you eloped?
Yeah, after 4 months of knowing each other.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, proper rock star. I was on kids' TV, right? So I couldn't get married. I couldn't date. I was still supposed to be 16, even though I was 21.
Yes.
So, yeah, I got married at 21.
So you kept it quiet. Did you keep it?
Very hush-hush. Yeah, nobody knew about it. Even when I came back, I was still single and 16.
Okay. And then, how long was it before tragedy hit?
17 years.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. So you were together for 17 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm getting goosebumps just carrying on with the next question. Then tragedy hit. Tell us a little bit about that. I believe so. I kind of can relate, but I can't relate. So I had a best friend who actually became my neighbor, and his wife passed away from a heart attack as well.
Oh my gosh.
In the house, he was out in the cricket field. She was there with her 2 small little kids.
Oh wow.
And the little daughter ran to my house, knocking on the door, saying, "My mom is dead. My mom is dead."
Wow.
And I was like, "What?" And yeah, we had to go fetch him off the cricket field around the corner.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, anyway, things didn't work out that great for him. Well, he's remarried now and everything, but it was a journey for him as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, I believe were you at home when this happened?
Yes, so I've been broadcasting my show from my home studio since COVID. And my show obviously starts at 7. 7 is news, so you have to be there, take the news at 7. And at about 6:30, I went to check on him to say, I'm going, bye, see you later. And he normally would play Call of Duty all night long. And I went in and he wasn't looking so good. And I was like, if you need me, shout. And I went back into my studio and then I heard what sounded like a door slam. And that was when he'd hit the floor and he'd had a massive, massive, massive heart attack. And yeah, I'm writing a book, and I, over the weekend, wrote that. I'd waited for a long time to write that time because I lost a lot of it I think you just numb, you just go, your brain kind of protects you.
That was my next question.
Yeah.
Like, when this all hits you, what does your brain actually do?
No, nothing. I don't know what is normal, and I don't know how you would react, right? Some people scream and cry. Some people go very quiet. I went completely numb, completely quiet. And I remember sitting on the floor next to him, holding his hand. And I remember everyone around me, there were suddenly many people in my house, and they were all talking about me. And I kept thinking, but I'm here. Just say that to me. You know, like, get her sugar water, get her out of the room. She's not okay. She's in shock. Should we get an ambulance for her? Can someone check on her? And I was sitting there thinking, I'm here. I can hear you. You know, why aren't you saying this to me? And from there, it's almost as if, you know, in a montage in a Hollywood movie, how everything slows down and the one person kind of stands and everything runs around them. That happened for about
the Matrix type of vibe.
Yeah. 6 months, everything was just going like this. And I kind of just stayed in one place.
Wow. It's like a trip almost.
Yeah.
Grief is a trip.
Like
your mind is almost hijacked.
Yeah, well, it is.
His name was Phil, yeah?
Phil, yes.
How old was he when he passed away?
47.
47. So he was young. Did he have problems before?
Nothing. He'd had heartburn.
Oh.
Heartburn. He was at the doctor the day.
I saw photos. Wow, he is a manly man.
No, man was
like, I see Aquaman sometimes in some of the photos.
Yeah, no, man was fit. He was fit. He sold truck tires, so he would load truck tires every day, all day, every day. He ran, he played football, he played cricket. He didn't smoke.
So all of this was unexpected.
At all. No, completely. If there was someone in our relationship that was going to have a heart attack, it's going to be me. I smoke Camels and I drink vodka all the time. I've never exercised before now, and I was violently overweight. It was completely unexpected. But the day he had the heart attack, he went to the doctor with the heartburn thing, and they gave him prescription heartburn medication.
Nexium, whatever.
And that evening he died.
Wow.
Yeah.
So it wasn't actually a heartburn.
No, but now we know. I mean, you don't know, right?
No.
You don't know.
A doctor can't see, he can't do an ECG with his eyes.
But also now we know that persistent heartburn is one of the signs.
I actually didn't know that.
Now you do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure. Wow. I'm trying to think we lost about heartburn.
We lost about heartburn, yeah. Don't worry, I'm the same. I was watching a lady that got like some flesh-eating bacteria on TikTok the other day. And now every time I get a niggle, I'm like, that's what it is. That's clearly what I have that.
So how our minds work.
Yeah.
I've heard a saying that they say grief lives in your body.
Yes.
How did your body react to this? I know you said everything felt like slow motion.
Yeah.
But your physical being, your body?
Well, I think I haven't slept in a year and a half. Still now, I'm struggling with sleep. I maybe get 3-4 hours a night. I think that's the biggest thing for me is the sleep. And then I stopped eating, which is why I lost initially like 20 kilograms in the first couple of months.
So it was an unhealthy weight.
Oh, no, massively. Because I was living on Camels and vodka and coffee, and that's it.
Sure.
Yeah. Because you do what you do to survive, right? Because you don't only lose a person, you lose the person you were when you were with that person. So you lose any kind of foundation that you had, any safety that you had. But then you also lose your whole future, because when you're with someone you're married, you're already planning old age, retirement, what we're doing, right?
Yeah.
So you're losing your past, you're losing who you are, you're losing your future. And a lot of the times, especially with women, you lose your home, which I had to give up because can't do it by myself, can't live there by myself. And then you may be losing dogs, cars, friends go. You lose a lot of friends because as a woman, you're now a threat to other women. And all of these things compound. And so you find yourself incredibly fucking isolated. And a lot of women turn to drugs, alcohol, and sex to find those dopamine hits, because
Someone else.
it's a lot. The toll on your body, I think, for everyone is different. Mine has been high anxiety because safety, right? Carpet pull out from underneath me. And then obviously the not eating, not sleeping.
Yeah, I hear you, because you were Danny Painter Phil's wife, and now you Danny Painter no one's wife.
Yeah, but also Phil was the only person who knew me not as Danny Painter.
Okay.
Do you know what I'm saying? Because Danny Painter, as much as it's a lot of me, it's not all of me.
There's more to you.
And I could go home and just be Danny.
There's a character, but you're
Yeah, 100%. It's a mask, right?
Yeah, for sure. And now there's nobody, and you're alone.
You make me like, he sounds so sad.
No, I'm trying to put myself in your shoes while you're telling the story, and that's why I didn't mention it in the beginning, and I wanted to, and I forgot. While you were telling this now, my intro to you was actually boring, the reason it was boring is because I don't want to give away your story. Because
everybody knows this.
But reading your story, it felt like I can't do it justice. It's got to come from you. And I've tried to put over the whole weekend, try to put myself in your shoes, listening to all the podcasts you've been on and everywhere. And it's just impossible.
Well, you can never be in anyone else's shoes, right? So
correct.
My dad recently passed away, and I've been walking this journey of widowhood now with my mom. And even that is different. Even though I've recently experienced it and she's experiencing it now, it's two completely different journeys. And she's navigating it completely differently to what I did.
And the way your sister is not the way you assisted yourself.
100%. Yeah.
Shame, how's your mom doing?
She's okay.
If you sorry to you.
No. Thank you. She's okay. You know, every day is another day. Every day. My mom is incredibly resilient and incredibly strong. She's the strongest woman I've ever.
How long were they together for?
20 years, 22 years.
Okay. Also, it's now to just be alone. Does she live in Johannesburg?
Yeah, we stay together now.
Oh, nice. Okay, so she's not alone.
I have a roommate.
Okay. No, but who better to have than your mom?
No, listen, I got to move at some point. I'm moving at some point. Sorry, Sandy. I love you.
Keep her, Sandy.
For as long as you can.
Okay, then you started. You had to start trying to figure this all out.
Yeah.
Were there times where you just lost it and you broke down?
Yeah.
Mentally, physically, just lay on the floor kicking and screaming?
No, I lay on the floor with a handful of pills and half a bottle of vodka thinking, I'm done. I don't want this anymore. I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to be here without him.
When you say pills?
Whatever's in the cover. Comprol, anxiety, sleeping tablets, whatever it is. I definitely had 3 times where I was over. I couldn't do it anymore. I didn't want to be
suicidal thoughts.
100%. And I was actively in therapy at that time. I had moved. I was safe. Everything was okay. But it was coming to terms with the fact that he was never coming back. And my whole life was now completely different. And I was alone. And I didn't know how to navigate that. And so I definitely was in that very, very dark space.
How did you get out of that? Because now you're drinking, you're taking pills with the alcohol.
Not eating, not sleeping.
You obviously do not have an addictive personality. To have stayed clean from that. Like, where did you go? Like, how did you get out of that? How did this all change? and I know I'm jumping this question, but I need to know how you got out of that rut.
I think the last time that I was on my bathroom floor and I had drank probably most of a bottle of vodka and some wine.
And you're all alone. No one's with you.
All alone. Yeah, completely alone. I was on the bathroom floor and I realized that if I did what I was considering, someone would find me. And it would likely be my mom. And I couldn't put her through that. But also, I then realized that my dogs would have to be put up for adoption, or, they would have to move and their whole life would change. And I know that those two things are really stupid and silly.
No, I'm smiling because, and I've got permanent goosebumps. Just have a look. Like, if I start shivering on this podcast because I've got permanent goosebumps.
But I was like, yeah, I didn't want to abandon my dogs. Just the thought of abandoning them.
That is not silly at all. So I'm also a dog person. I've got kids, but my dogs are like my kids too. So I get it.
Yeah, and I didn't want Sandy to find me. And that's when I realized that this was now a problem. Not drinking was a problem. This drinking to self-destruct was a problem.
Drinking to numb the pain.
Yeah, drinking to run away.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's when...
And that's why we all do. Well, addicts drink.
Have sex.
I don't know if you've listened to any of the other podcasts. I say numerous times, I hate the word addict because they're not addicts. They're human.
Their pain.
They have pain. You shouldn't say, why are you an addict? Why do you drink? You should go, why do you have the pain?
Yeah.
Let's figure that out. Let's figure the root.
What is the root? What is...
Yeah. There's a root to being an addict.
Yeah. See, mine was easy. It was the loss of my husband.
Yeah.
But I think when it's a lifelong thing, a lifelong struggle, when it's from childhood or trauma or whatever, your brain blanks things out.
You don't even know the reason.
No.
Yeah. You don't even know the reason.
But therapy.
We're going to get onto the therapy questions because, like, I've got a two-way street about therapy, but we'll get there. We'll get.
My
to
best friend is the same. She's like, ugh, Danny.
No, and I'll tell you why. I mean, a therapist sponsors this podcast, so, but I believe in it too. But yeah, we'll get onto that. Okay, so yeah, you had your thoughts. No one wants their mom to find them
No.
dead.
No.
Especially if you've did it yourself.
Yeah.
So I get that. And then your animals, which mean the world to you. I've seen your TikToks with your dogs. I mean, I'm just imagining me lying on a floor now, my Labrador and my Jack Russell all around me. And then I'm dead.
Yeah.
And when you, no. Okay, so I get that. Okay. And then that was basically, let's call it your rock bottom.
Yeah.
Realizing that. And then what happened? What changed then? What did you do? You went to therapy?
I think it was more a mental change initially. The next morning, obviously, violently hungover, bang babalas, feeling like absolute shit. I sat down and I reevaluated everything, my whole life. And I realized that no one is coming to save me. There's no more Phil. There's no more, I can pick up the phone and phone him and he'll figure it out. He'll fix it for me. He'll come get me. He was always going to come rescue me. No one is coming to do that. The only person who can now rescue me is me. And I realized that I hold the power, not maybe physically, but mentally, right? So I'd been looking at my life as this dark pit of despair and nothing is ever going to be good again. And there's no way forward. But if you shift perspective, you then control the narrative. You get to decide. And that's when I went deep into therapy, deep into a little bit of the woo-woo and meditated and did all of the...
What I was looking for.
The word
meditating, doing breath work, doing cold water exposure, went to gym, started lifting heavy weights, got a trainer, started trying to fix my diet, started drinking instead of 6 days a week, maybe 4, and then down to 3. Now we're on 1, So everything slowly snowballed positively. And I truly believe that's because I realized that I hold the power.
Meditation.
Mm.
Did that, I don't know.
I fucking hated it.
You
Still do.
It's hard, eh?
It's so cuck.
Like, especially in your case, someone's telling you to meditate when you're grieving. Like,
Just sit.
how the fuck do I just sit
Just sit.
and meditate when I want to cry, when I want to scream, when I want to...
Then you do. So that was my therapist, Richard, my long-suffering poor Richard. He said he was a Buddhist monk for many, many years before he was a therapist. And he said, just sit. And then I would say exactly that. But what if I cry? What if I have rage? What if I get angry? And he said, sit with it. Allow it. Let it come up. Feel where it's coming up in your body, because there are different areas that you're going to feel things, right? As it comes up, see where it goes. See what it is. Assign a color to it if you must. But look at it. Allow it. And you'll see the more you do that, the quicker it dissipates. And so this is why meditation is good, because if someone cuts me off in traffic now, I will follow you. I will pull you out. I will kill you. Do you know what I'm saying? Now, because of meditation, it's taught me to sit with the feeling, see where it's coming from, because it's not the person that's cut me off that's pissed me off. It was something that happened maybe 2-3 days ago.
Correct.
And you get to sit with that, see it, and let it go. It sounds so woo-woo. I'm sorry.
No, it doesn't. But it takes practice.
Everything takes practice. To not gamble takes practice.
Exactly. No, for sure. How long did it take to get to this point where you can actually let things go and see where it's coming from and go, okay, someone pissed me off 2 days ago.
No, I'm still working on it, Dave. No.
So it's
like,
you're never actually there.
I don't think you're ever there. I don't think.
Unless you're a Buddhist monk.
Well, even
them, yeah.
I don't think you're ever there until you're no longer here. I think that enlightenment or whatever it is, samsara or whatever you believe in, that only comes at the very end. While you're here, you're always going to be learning. You're always going to be pushing.
Before you learned these techniques, did you ever feel that, or how do I put this? Were you ever upset with Phil that he passed away?
Yes. That he left me, yes.
Did you ever blame him and think?
Yeah, of course I did.
I'm blaming you for this. You just left me.
Yeah, the night before we had dinner and we were lying in bed together and I had my head on his chest and I said to him, don't ever leave me, because I'd always said this, it's a thing that you say, never leave me, don't leave me for anyone else, never leave me. And he said, I'm never going to leave you. And I went, do you promise? And he went, yes. And that conversation played over and over and over in my head for a really long time. And I did blame him. And even more than just blaming him, I blamed myself. I believed wholeheartedly that somehow it was my fault that he had died.
That you did something wrong.
That I did something wrong for months. Months and months and months. I was convinced.
Why do we do that to ourselves?
I was convinced it was me. I was convinced that at some point everyone was going to figure it out and it would all be over.
Because I always thought that's a part of humans who feel sorry for themselves. We're blaming ourselves because we feel sorry for ourselves. Do you think it's that? Or why are we blaming ourselves for your husband passing away? I mean, you did nothing wrong.
I think because as humans, we need some form of control over a shitty situation. And when it's a sudden heart attack, there's no control. You have no control. So you automatically go to, somehow it's my fault because I can control that. I think that's what it is. I don't know.
Yeah, mate, you did something wrong in life to now be punished for this.
Yeah. Or I didn't see the signs. I should have seen the signs. I should have been a better wife. I should have been more attentive. Somehow I could have known. I could have saved him. I should have done more CPR. I should have been better at CPR. Why did I never learn CPR? All of these things that inevitably he died because of me.
Yeah.
Which is complete bullshit, but
no.
We all do that. I mean, I've had widows
bullshit.
Whose husbands have committed suicide, and they're also saying, but it was because of me. I should have.
Where do you think he's now?
So this is something that I've done a deep dive on, a very deep dive on, especially writing this book. And honestly, I still don't know. I have done a lot of research. I've done a lot of exploring. I've spoken to a lot of experts, peer-reviewed science studies, bullshit, whatever. And honestly, I think that the only people who know where you go when you die are the dead. And I don't know if it's our business.
Not in any spooky type of way, obviously. Do you ever feel him? Do you ever feel he's with you?
Such a big question because I don't know, right? I don't know if the 1111s are him. I don't know if the feathers are him. And then I worry, right? So every time I see an 1111 and I don't say, thank you, Phil, I think, fuck, I'm going to get to heaven or hell one day, or wherever it is, the bardo. And he's going to go, bruh, I have been talking to you for fucking years and you're not responding. What's wrong with you?
I'm making you see the
I
1111.
sent you 1111. I sent you feathers. I sent you all this shit. What are you doing, daddy? Hello. You didn't listen to me in life. You didn't listen to me in death. I'm done. But then also a part of me is like, am I just being a human and assigning meaning to arbitrary coincidences in the world? Or are there no coincidence? I don't know where I stand. Where do you think we go?
I don't know what I've done with my cell phone, but I was going to remind me. I'll find my cell phone at the end of this podcast.
Okay.
I saved something for you last night.
1111.
It's about the conscious mind and the 1111.
Look at me. I've got it tattooed on me.
No, it's exactly what you're saying. It's the universe or whatever you're believing in, a higher power, just making you conscious of something. So I don't think you're wrong.
But I don't even know
I
if
never
I'm
see
wrong.
1111, Danny. I never see it. I've got another friend who also 1111, 1111, 1111.
555, 1111.
Like I actually think his name's Craig, and I was like, Craig, you set an alarm, bro. It's to say you 1111, and he's like, Jacques, I really don't.
Listen, do you know it's so bad, and I have not told anyone this. Today I went to gym. As I was leaving the gym, it was 1111. And I looked on my watch, right? It was 11:11 and 11:11 on my phone. It then went 11:12 on my watch on my phone. And I got into my car and my car must be behind. And it was 11:11 as I got in the car. And I was like, are you shouting at me? Like, I don't know what I did wrong. If it's you, can you please give me a sign?
So you talk to him often?
Yeah, but I don't know if it's him or if I'm just talking to the ether. It's the void. I don't know.
Well, you believe you're talking to him.
I don't know.
So you asked me, where do I think we go? I do think we go somewhere, but I do also think we hang around on this earth.
As what?
Like there's a lot of times, so my father, I was very close to my dad. He passed away via back operation. Also, he was healthy.
So sorry.
He should have never passed away. They nicked his spine. Whatever, should have been an hour operation. Took 7 hours. He then had a blood clot shoot from to his lungs or something. I don't know. He never came out of it.
I'm so sorry.
That was quite a while ago, but thank you.
Yeah, it's still
I appreciate it.
yeah.
Yeah. And I believe that we still hang around you. Like a lot of times I'll be driving and I just think of him. It's the thought, and that I feel is him trying to talk to me.
Okay.
There's been a few times where, because I used to phone him every day, 3 times a day, like we were close. And Daddy, I need advice on this. Daddy, I need this. Daddy, I need that. It hasn't happened in a while, but where I'd pick up my phone and I'd actually go DA. And I was like, what are you doing? And I think that's him talking to me.
Okay.
I don't know what he's trying to say, but, or maybe just, hey, how's it?
Yeah.
Like,
You're good.
what's happening?
Yeah.
So I do believe we hang around. Like I said, not in a spooky type of way, but I believe if you want to call it the spirits, or
I don't know.
are there?
I don't know. Some days I do, some days I don't.
I don't believe they're there to like help you and succeed in life and all of this.
Well, then what the fuck is he doing? I want the lots of numbers. Listen, man died and Newcastle United have never been better and they were his team. At the very fucking least he could do, give me lots of numbers.
I am dead run.
Newcastle United have never been this good since Philippines died. I'm not saying it's him, but I'm also not saying it.
And he supported Newcastle.
Massively from 5 years old.
Well, if you're listening, just give Danny the lotto numbers. You owe me.
A little bit of something, my guy. An island
Don't
holiday.
gamble. I can't get the lotto numbers.
No, you know what? Even Phil, if you're listening, a nice boyfriend would be nice. Thank you. Thank you.
I was going to get onto that. So why you said that? Oh, we started dating since. Has any of that happened?
No.
And how do we go to that?
Well,
like, what advice have you got for someone out there who has lost someone and they would like to start dating? Where do they go? What do they do? Yes, Tinder, whatever. Oh, I don't know what other websites are there, but
You're asking the wrong person. No, I'm cursed. No. I'm going to be alone with my dog forever. My vodka, my camels, and my
but
dog.
have you tried?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So you have made an effort
Yes.
to try.
Yes.
Tinder?
I did Tinder and Bumble and Hinge. I now have none.
What's that one you said? What?
Hinge.
And before that?
Bumble.
Bumble. Okay.
Yeah. No. Not for me.
Not there, swiping left in it.
Low effort. Conversation is shit. No one cares. It's all just hookup culture. I got married at 21. I was married for 17 years. I don't do that hookup thing. Like, no.
You got to go meet the parents.
Yeah, and I was married to like a real man. Like a man.
Like I said to you, those photos, like,
Yeah.
I just said to Samantha, my wife, I'm like, babes, check this guy. Like, he's a man's man. Like,
Yeah. You know, like
beard and
very in his masculine energy, which allowed me to be in my feminine energy. And it was very, very good for me to be in that. So
you know, you go on a date with this little soft cock. The guy, skinny little,
no, I mean, that's fine, right? So don't care about that. Just
softy.
be in your masculine.
Yeah.
Which doesn't necessarily mean be a dick, be hard. But like,
You want a man's man.
okay,
Yeah.
pursue, have a conversation.
And they're hard to find these days.
I don't think you find them anymore.
I mean, I'm not even a man's man. Like, I'll be the first to say it.
I don't know. You're pretty manly. You're pretty masculine.
I'm not going to change your tire. I'm phoning AA.
Really?
Yeah.
Even I can change a tire.
No, when my dad passed away, I inherited all his tools and stuff, and I started.
Did you know what they were?
No, I've never. Danny, I've never drilled a hole in a wall.
Don't.
Okay, I get the handyman to come drill it.
Don't.
I've tried once. Sorry, I've tried once. You know what happened? The whole wall started cracking because I used the wrong drill bit. Now I must find out there's different drill bits for
Yes.
concrete, for steel, for wood. And this wall started cracking. I was like, never again.
Heavy.
Never again. Ask Samantha. If you ever meet Samantha, I've got a handyman guy on speed dial. I need pictures put up.
I was just going to say, so you buy like a TV and you must get someone else to come put it up there.
The TV's the hard part. It's normal pictures with a little photo frame. Yeah.
Judging you. I'm sorry.
No, please do. A lot of people, I'm used to being judged. As you can see. No, Samantha's the handyman in our household.
But I mean, it works, right? It works for you.
Yeah, and it's just something I've never been into. Yeah.
Maybe
I was gambling too often. I made life easier so I can be at the casino.
Did you win a lot of money though?
There were the stages. Like everyone says, did you win money? And every gambler will tell you, oh, I always win, but I don't ever tell you about the losses. Let me tell you, the winnings mean nothing because you win, even if it's a lot of money, you don't even spend a cent on yourself.
No, you
keep
put it
it.
back, right?
But even if it's 3 days later, like let's use an amount. You win 1,000 rand. Okay. You're not even going to go use 100 rand to buy a t-shirt because you want to go back to the casino. As an addict, you want to go back to the casino and spend that money.
How many days are you doing this?
Sure. I gambled from the age of, I think I was introduced like 16 already to roulette.
Holy shit.
But the addiction kicked in already at 18, 19. I'm 42 now. I'm only 7 years clean. So,
Wow.
So yeah.
Do you miss it?
Yeah, comes. You see how the podcast has turned around.
Sorry, last question.
Your questions are harder than Jesse's questions.
It was always going to happen.
Do I miss it? Right now, no. Because I know what it did to my life.
Okay.
And I've gone through the retrospection section.
Oh, the 12 thing.
Yeah, all of those things. And I realized what it did to my life, almost losing my family. If I carried on gambling, I either would have been standing in a robot today or I would have committed suicide.
Okay.
I also bought the pills like you, laid them in front of me. Yeah, I lost my first family. Well, I didn't lose my family, but I got divorced because of gambling. I then met Samantha, who actually saved me.
Sure.
I would have lost all 3 of my kids. Yeah, so do I miss it now? No. But if you asked me in my first year, probably I would have said yes. Because there is a fun part to it. I'm not going to lie. I mean, let's be honest. Even if there is people trying to get clean and stuff like that, there is a fun part to it. There is a community.
Yeah.
there's that connection that you spoke about in the beginning that we all need. We go sit in the pub alone. You end up meeting people if you go there every single day. If it's the barman behind the bar.
Yeah.
Like in America, you go tell the barman your problems. On the movies, you see the guys. It happens. And that's the connection we're all longing for and looking for. And if we're going to find it in a casino or if we're going to find it in a pub, we're going to go look for it. And it might be a good habit or a bad habit. And that's always like, I'm not into running groups anymore because I believe, there we go, Danny, running clubs have become the new Tinder.
Well, there we go. So we go to the shuffle and then you can wingman me because I think you're a better judge of character than I am.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Look, you've done the work. You've done the 12 steps. I mean, clearly we're shits together, right?
No, do we ever have our shit together?
No.
Like, even if we think we got our shit together?
No.
Like I saw a little Instagram reel the other day. We've totally gone off this topic, but it's okay. I saw an Instagram reel the other day where the guy sits in the car and he's like, am I okay? No, I'm not.
No.
Will I be okay? Yes, I will be. Like, we will be okay, but we're not okay.
Yeah.
At the end of the day. You don't know what's happening behind those closed doors. Yeah.
Okay, sorry that I hijacked it.
No,
bring
please,
it back.
Please.
Next question.
Yeah. I've actually lost my train of thought here. Phil. Okay, so you're not sure if Phil's here. If he's working here.
I don't know.
We don't have the answer to that. And I don't think we'll ever have the answer to that. But it's nice to believe, though.
Yes, but I also don't want it to become a crutch. I don't want my need for him to still be here. If it's possible that he's still here and he has somewhere else to be, that he stays here because of me, right? Because I need him.
Yeah.
But I also don't want that to be a crutch for me that holds me back because I'm forever looking for a sign from Phil. You know, I don't want grief to become, I don't want to be the grief girl. I'm tired of being the grief girl.
How did you start finding it so easy to talk about grief and death?
So after he died, it was the next day, and my mom started getting phone calls from the press. And my PR at the time said, what are we going to do? What are we putting out? How do we get ahead of this? And I sat there and I was sitting at the table and I remember thinking, we need to go and identify the body and like find a coffin. And now you're asking me what press release we're doing. Like, what the fuck are we talking about?
Journalists are. I almost said it very See you next Tuesday.
No, but you know what? I realized that as much as Phil didn't want this life, he was very normal. This is all I've ever done and all I've ever known. And the people that supported me and the reason that I'm here, they deserve to know what's going on, right? If I'm off air for an extended period of time, they are concerned. It was genuine concern. And so I put out a statement, a very generic PR piece. And then I started to look for other widows that were in the public eye or widowers. And Jesse Clegg had recently lost his wife and Vanessa Carrera had recently lost her husband. And they were not saying a word, which is fine. That's their journey, right? But I needed someone who was navigating it that I could look at and go, oh shit, okay, this is normal.
You could follow in their footsteps.
I can follow in your footsteps or just feel less alone, less completely isolated, you know, because when you're alone at night, no matter how many people are around you, your person isn't there.
Yeah.
And so to see someone else who's navigating that would have been really nice. And there wasn't. And so I just started oversharing on the internet. I started taking anyone who followed me with me and anyone who listened to my show on the journey from selling my house, which I'd never ever done before, moving, buying electricity for the first time in my life, buying a car, selling a car, the funeral, the grief, all of it. And through that, I created a community without even knowing it. And it has been incredibly beautiful.
Do you ever wish like to know or wonder how many people have I actually helped with my story?
No.
Don't you?
No, because it's not about that.
But you know you are helping people. Have you actually sat down and go, like, you are saving people's lives out there? I promise you, your story is saving people's lives. And the reason why I say it with so much conviction and confidence is because I've seen it in the Gamblers Anonymous meetings. People's stories save other people. Like someone walks in there and he's shattered. He's losing his wife, he's losing his house, he's losing his car, or he's lost his wife because he's a drug addict, etc. And he's now trying to become clean. They're shattered. Then they hear my story, which is worse than theirs, and they go, oh, fuck,
I'm not actually that
look,
bad.
look at him. His life's back together.
Yeah.
I can do it. So your story is saving other people. You're documenting your life.
But I don't think that it's healthy to look at it like that. I'm just oversharing. And if you watch it and you get something from it, that's great. But I'm getting so much from
Just
sharing. Yeah. I'm getting so much from being able to be open in a safe
So
space.
if you ever want to stop sharing, just know that you're saving people's lives out there. Don't stop sharing.
Too late now.
I'm putting you under pressure.
Listen, I think it's too late now. Look, after the book, I did have a podcast, which I haven't continued.
I did listen to your episode.
Yeah. After the book, I do think that it's time for a little bit maybe of a rebrand so that I'm not the grief girl. But there will always be grief. So it will come up.
Yeah. No, for sure. And let me tell you, I'll be honest with you, and I'm going to bring Samantha up again, ask her, because I went, I'm like, babe, I don't want to just talk about grief with Danny, because she's more than that, you know? But unfortunately,
it's okay.
It's going, because that's your journey.
Yeah.
And I said to her, but that is her journey. And that's what's made her who she is today.
Yeah.
And the positive energy, the positive person that she is, if that didn't happen, she wouldn't have been this person.
100%. I wasn't this person.
Unfortunately, it is who you are. And you're not the grief girl. I don't like that. Because grief, then you would be sitting here crying.
No, I'm the one that you turn to when you want uplifting and gees.
Yes.
We cry. Look, we cry.
No, crying's good.
We cry. But we also drink and party and live and go out and experience new things and change the narrative, shift perception and perspective.
So you're not the grief girl. You just said it.
I'll take it.
Your intro there, or your description of yourself is none of that was grief. I thought about it and thought, am I hearing any grief? No.
Okay, but I'm probably going to cry all the way home in the car. So balance.
Yeah. Okay.
Balance.
So I don't want to make you cry going home.
No, it's fine. I won't cry on your podcast, but I'll cry in the car. That's one of my things. I will never cry in public. I will cry in the car.
If you cry on the podcast, I'm going to cry with you.
No, I'm not going to cry. I'll be fine. Please don't cry.
No, I won't cry. Okay. Yeah. Just back to your health journey again. Have you found, after losing all this weight now and lifting heavy, you said that's where you've gone, meditation, to the gym, that your mental health has improved because your body's improved?
1,000,000%. 1,000,000%.
And I'm asking that for the obese people out there, etc.
No, 100%. Look, I was very much obese, very much. I'm still quite overweight, but I have realized that the body positivity, and people are going to come for me, the body positivity movement is quite toxic, because at my biggest, at almost 140 kilograms, I was getting people telling me how beautiful I was and like this and that and the next thing. And I was fucking unhealthy. I was so unhealthy and so unhappy and so depressed. And I remember feeling just icky, right? Minus 35 kilograms or more now, my head is clearer. I'm thinking sharper. I'm way more energetic. I'm healthier across the board. But I'm also able to be more positive in shit situations. Fighting in the gym and pushing weights in the gym and pushing yourself is way, way bigger than aesthetics. To hit PBs consecutively and consistently, it's a mind thing. Because you'll go in today and lift 200 in a deadlift. Tomorrow, same look, same vibe, same everything. You can't even do 150.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? And to get over those mental blocks and the fear of, what if I hurt myself? What if I can't do it? What if I drop the weight? What if I look stupid? That has served me so well in real life, in the normal world.
Do you believe that creating these hard things like lifting 200 kgs and trying to go heavier actually makes your life easier?
Yes.
Because you're creating your hard.
Yes.
And life's not throwing hard things at you because
Yes.
you're already doing those hard things.
Yes.
Am I making sense here?
Yes, 100%. Yes. It's also, I think, for a lot of people that train, running a marathon, training for a marathon, lifting heavy weights, whatever it is, the grunt work, the shit, the hard graft, right? I think is one of the only times in the day where your brain shuts off. And this right here, this next 5 steps, this next kilometer, this next 5 kilograms, that's all we focus on right now. And I think it's truly the only time you live in the now.
I like that.
Hmm.
Do you also believe that, let me just say this correctly, your mind follows your body? So if your body's healthy and you're looking good, your mind will look good. I know some people believe it's the other way around. A healthy mind, your body will, I guess it.
Look, I think it's secular, right? So healthy mind, healthy body, healthy mind. But there's been so much research on gut brain, the gut bacteria, and
Correct.
how it affects your mental health, that you can't be unhealthy. When I was violently overweight, I was so depressed. I would struggle to get out of bed, right? Now, I'm still sad, but I'm going to go to the gym because I know that going to the gym makes me better.
And even if it is only for an hour after gym that you feel better.
Yeah, no, you feel better for longer.
No, you do, yes. But it is just, even if it is for that, like if you just go for a 15-minute walk.
Yeah.
As an overweight
Just
person. Yeah, just move. Yeah,
move.
start somewhere.
Just move. But then also starting somewhere snowballs, which is why you're right. Your brain follows your body.
Yeah.
Because you go to the gym, then you're not going to eat shit or skip a meal or drink. You're going to want to, baby step that along. And eventually you've lost weight and you're feeling better. You're looking better.
Keep up what you're doing because you're looking amazing.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
I noticed that there might be some competitions that you've been taking part in.
Yeah, no, look.
Is it lifting? Is it weightlifting? Or?
So I actually went to go and watch, is it Olympic weightlifting? Yes. Deadlift, bench, and squat. Yeah, I went to go watch a comp last week Sunday because I want to enter. Wow. So that's something I'm training for. And then one of my dear friends, who might not be a dear friend for much longer,
is obviously pushing you to do what?
Yeah, no, there's a cross triathlon coming in February, and she was like, "Come do it with me." And I was like, "Yes." I had no idea what it meant, so it looks like I'm going to do that.
Is that the triathlon sprints?
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about this.
It's a 20K ride, if I'm not mistaken. You don't know yet your distance.
I just said yes.
Okay.
I don't even have a bike.
When is it?
February.
Okay, so at least it's warm. So I know they start in September, and then you got to climb into this dam on the 1st of September.
I'm just doing a dam.
Well, triathlons are usually in a dam with fish, yeah. And if it is Cradle Moon, there's a hippo too.
No.
I'd rather do the sharks than the hippo.
No, I'd rather not.
Unless someone's doing a triathlon from the Virgin Active pool, I don't think so. But yeah, I think it's a dam.
Virgin Active, could we? No, yeah. So, yeah.
I haven't heard of them swimming in the pools with the triathlon.
And then didn't you say I must run the Comrades at some point?
Yes. When we started talking, listen, every South African needs to do the Comrades. Okay. I wish every South African could do the Comrades. It's the most amazing race ever. There's nothing like your first Comrades. And listen, I didn't even reply to that message of yours. You said, let's not start on the up run because I said to you next year.
Yes.
And you said, let's not start on the up run because that was the next. There's no such fucking thing as an up and down run.
So it's every year is one up, one down.
Bullshit. Okay, let me do.
What they call that?
That's a propaganda thing just to get people to come do the down run because it's easier because it's downhill. Let me tell you something, Danny. The down run is actually harder than the up run. Your first 50 to 60 Ks, you do all your elevation on the down run. On the up run, it's split at least.
Okay.
Okay.
I didn't.
So I'm trying to get you there next year.
No, listen. I think next year might be a stretch, babe. I think next year might be too soon.
Yeah. So, well,
Can you go from couch to Comrades in how many months is that? It's a year.
no, you can't. You can't go from couch to. I don't think it would be healthy to go from couch to Comrades in the sense of injuries
Okay.
on your body. What I would start from couch to 5K. I'm sure you've heard.
No,
get those
I
things.
can do a 5K.
At what time?
I can do 10. No, we're not gonna know. We don't.
No, so
technical?
it doesn't matter. So there's
Oh.
so there's a thing that says you shouldn't do Comrades unless you can do 8 kilometers under 48 or 48 minutes or less.
Oh, definitely not. I can't.
Okay. So, but we can get there. I mean, there's so many amazing get a coach. If you ever want to do Comrades,
Get a coach.
even if you're starting from couch to 5K, get a coach. There's so many amazing coaches, males and females. My favorite coach right now, well, she hasn't coached me. She came 6th in Comrades. Her name's Carla. Can't pronounce her surname. And I've asked her to come. Sorry, Carla. I've asked her to come on the podcast.
Wow,
But
well done.
she has such a personality. I'm going to send you an Instagram profile.
Please do.
She at the Aches and Pains party on the Monday at the George Mslang, she was dancing on the table, got hair stain up on the table.
Oh, cool.
Like she's just got this. She's from the UK, but she's moved to Cape Town. But she is amazing. Like I just love her person and her personality and who she is.
I'll think about it.
But if you want a challenge, and it's very inclusive to anyone starting out anywhere, is Hierrox. Have you heard about Hierrox
Yes,
before?
no, thank you. I'm not going to join the cult.
Virgin
I've
Active is
offended
the
him.
cult. No, you haven't offended me. Okay, so I used to call CrossFit and all those things.
Same.
I used to call them a cult.
Yeah.
Okay, they're not a cult.
Mm.
Okay.
It's just because you've drank the Kool-Aid.
No. Hold on, hear me out. So I made peace that it's not a cult. So it's a community, and people go there because they search, like you said in the beginning of this podcast, they search for community. And let me tell you something. You said it. You're going to gym. You're not talking to people unless it's your trainer.
Yeah.
I can promise you now. You come to CrossFit or go to any CrossFit Brackpan. Okay. And yes, your personality, people probably go, Danny Painter's here, Danny Painter's here. Okay, especially in Brackpan. But
I've done CrossFit. I did CrossFit for years.
yeah, and how easy was it to start talking to people and meet people?
It was fine.
Obviously, you don't go to the elite class because they were assholes. But
No, but the boys are hard.
they take up a shit. Hierrox, every guy takes up a shit. Ask Jesse here to take up a shit.
Oh, where's he? Get him in here now.
In Hierrox, you can't do Hierrox with a shirt on. It's frowned upon. So,
Fantastic. I'll go watch.
no,
But Hierrox is like CrossFit. Same.
it's not CrossFit. So, no, CrossFit is specific movements. Hierrox is an inclusive event and training that anyone can do. Okay? Anyone can do a wall ball. You can do a wall ball
Yeah.
now. Okay? You can do a lunge.
Yeah.
All right? And a weighted lunge. You can do a farmer's carry. There's no specific movements that you need. It's all today's movements. You can go and do the rowing machine. You can do the ski erg machine.
Okay.
It's all just today's movements. So Hierrox is inclusive. It's like not everyone can play tennis, but everyone can play paddle. Paddles are called.
He is involved in all of the cults at this point.
I don't play paddle. I hate that sport. I love tennis, but I don't play paddle.
Thank God you don't play paddle.
Is that how we say it?
I don't know what we said. I don't care.
Anyway, okay.
No. I'll consider running. I'm not considering Hierrox.
Okay.
And
Let's go do the after the what do I call it? The after shuffle. Yes.
the after shuffle.
Shuffle, yeah.
That's a promise. I will do the after shuffle with you.
Okay. Before we end this podcast, I'm looking at the time there. Let's just get back to one serious question. Can you believe it? Hours
What's the
passed.
time?
An hour's passed.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And
Did you ask me what you wanted to ask me?
No, but I'm going to go to one last serious question.
Okay.
Okay. There must be people, there's many people out there that are battling with grief.
Mm.
Which I've got 2 questions.
Okay.
Give them a piece of advice. Well, what's the one thing that you can say they should do? And I know what your answer is going to be. And I've had some questions about therapy. And if it's not, that's okay. Don't answer it like that. But what's the one thing they should go do? Okay, let's say they are doing therapy already. Don't answer it like they are doing therapy. They're going to go see a psychiatrist or whoever, a counselor, whatever it is. What else is it that they should do? And they feel like they're going to lose their shit any minute.
Grieve. Let it go. Grieve. Feel it. You cannot get through it unless you get through it. Cry, throw things, smash things, break things, break down, hit rock bottom, because from there you can build a really incredible foundation. The second thing is find a community. So I found an app online that I joined. You pay for it. And in that app, it was like a Facebook for grievers. And there was all different kinds of grief. Miscarriages for moms and dads, the loss of a brother, the loss of a sister, the loss of a husband, the loss of a wife, young widows, old widows, everything in between, LGBTQ friendly. You can find those apps everywhere. Join and engage. Facebook have many groups that you can join and engage. Engage with people who are going through what you're going through. Find a community, whether that's overseas in South Africa. Find someone who you can unpack with and word vomit with and be messy with, that's not going to judge you or think any less of you because they're going through the same thing. And then, and I know that everyone's going to go, oh, Danny, seriously, move, get out into the sun. You know, when I first started the journey, my only goals for the day were to get up and make my bed, to go and stand in the sun for 5 minutes and look at the sun or close my eyes, but have the sun in your eyes, like on your face, 5 minutes. Shoes optional because grounding is really good. And this all sounds really woo-woo, but all of this helped me. So get up, make my bed, go out into the sun, meditate 5 minutes. 5 minutes. You set a time on your phone. Hey, Siri, you set an alarm for 5 minutes. You go, you sit and you fight it. Siri's just set an alarm for 5 minutes. You go and you fight it. And those steps were the steps that then got me to walk the dog, which then got me to go to gym, which got me here.
Thank you for that advice. It's amazing advice. Just what is that app called? Do you remember?
Can I look?
You may.
I apologize. Also, do not look at what my phone says. I've since deleted it because I don't need it anymore. You know what I'll do? Untangle. It's called Untangle.
Untangle.
Untangle Grief Support. That was the one that I used, but there are many, many, many that you can use.
But you recommend that was a good one. That helped.
Yeah. It helped me find a very great community.
Okay. It's amazing that there's apps out there, even if they cost money.
Yeah. It was 99 Rand a month.
Yeah, but I mean, at the end of the day, apps cost a lot of money to develop. So that's understandable why apps cost money. It's amazing that there's apps like that. And then, to be honest, I had another question.
I was just going to say, what's the next question?
Because your advice, I was just taking in your advice and I was just, I remember. We're going to end it off with a deep question.
Oh, yeah, okay.
If there's one thing, Phil was listening now, and I believe he is, there's one thing you could say to him, what would that thing be?
Oh, there's so much.
Just one thing.
There's so much. No, how do I choose? I'm sorry.
Okay, 3 things.
No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I wasn't nicer to you. I'm sorry that I wasn't the best version of myself, because now I know I wasn't. Right? And I love you. That's it. Always.
There's no other better way for me to end this podcast. I'm not even let's just end it right there. Thank you, Danny.
No, thank you.